Exciting news from Manchester United, as the club announced plans to build Britain's largest football stadium right next to their iconic Old Trafford. The ambitious project, set to cost a staggering £2 billion, aims to create the world's greatest football stadium and transform the area into a hub of sports and entertainment. Co-owner Jim Ratcliffe shared his enthusiasm, calling this a groundbreaking moment.
It starts with the fans. And it starts with the idea of making something which is so intense, it brings you close to the pitch. Acoustically, it cultivates the roar. As you move away from the stadium, it's not a fortress surrounded by a sea of cars.
The reason we're here today is that the club, Manchester United, would like to announce that we will underpin the government's growth plans with a new stadium. But it's not just a new stadium, it's a bit more than just a new stadium, because it's obvious that the more iconic or the more extraordinary that the stadium is, the more successful the regeneration scheme will be.
Welcome, Omar, as well. Thank you guys for joining me up on stage. Well, that's the best place to start, Jim. That is incredible.
It is.
I'm sure you've seen.
We have 1 billion people around the world who follow Manchester United, and they will all want to visit this stadium. You will see the design in a moment, and you can take your own view as to how iconic you think it is. But I think everybody in the world who's interested in football, who's interested in Manchester United, will want to come and visit this stadium.
In different groups and very carefully identified as people that really this project would have an impact on. And the overwhelming response was...
United is the world's favourite football club. In my view, it's arguably the biggest, and it deserves a stadium befitting of its stature. The Premier League is indisputably the best football league in the world, maybe the best sports league in the world, and it must have a stadium that's at least the equal of the best in Europe. And today it has some great stadiums, but it doesn't have a Bernabeu and it doesn't have a Nou Camp. They're bigger and more impressive, I think, than the stadiums that we have in the Premier League today.
Since becoming a minority shareholder in February of last year, the British billionaire has voiced his strong vision for the future of the club, referring to the new stadium as the Wembley of the North. The club has been exploring options for the redevelopment of their historic home, which has stood since 1910, or possibly constructing a brand new venue altogether.
Project that people from all affiliations, all walks of life have come together, particularly in the guise of the task force, which I'm very honoured to be chairing, to really drive a project that has value way, way beyond the curtilage of a football ground or even a small element of a city. I will go to my grave knowing the most potent social worker in all our communities is sport. But I will also know that if you create around a sporting hub the infrastructure and the ambition to think big, you really can transform a neighbourhood.
State-of-the-art training facility. But back to the stadium, a new stadium as part of the wider regeneration project for us would be a game changer. As you know, we have the biggest stadium in the Premier League, but we still can't accommodate for all.
And I think that was the recognition that was dawning on all of us as members of the task force, and I'm delighted that we've got many of those members here today, when we recognised that this really did have the potential to be what we believe it will be, which is currently the most potent and the largest driving force around regeneration and sport anywhere in Europe.
In September, Manchester United enlisted renowned architects, Foster Partners, to design the new 100,000-seat stadium, which will stand as a symbol of the club's future and ambition.